Did Snow actually love Lucy Gray? Yes, but in the only way that he knew how. Coriolanus Snow was born into a world in chaos. His mother died in childbirth, and his father was soon after killed by a stray rebel bullet. He was left orphaned at a very young age and was raised by his grandmam along with his cousin Tigress. And they witnessed horrible things during the war, including witnessing a man of once high respect cutting off the leg of a dead person and eating it in order to survive. And Snow sees this as the lowest humanity can get. And because it was the districts rebelling against the capital, Snow puts all the blame on the districts. He sees them as out-of-control creatures who, when they disobey the law and structure of the great capital, they turn into these monsters, and they turn the capital citizens into monsters. And then the dark days end, and the capital rules with an essential iron fist, using the Hunger Games as a method of keeping the districts in control. And so Coriolanus believes from a very young age that the best way to keep humanity civilized is through absolute control. And more than that, by this point, the House of Snow has fallen. And so he blames the districts not only for sending the capital into disarray, but also for his own personal suffering. And since he lost his parents so young, the only thing he has left of them, really, is their names and his name. And so he takes great pride in the House of Snow and works incredibly hard to bring it back to its former glory. He is a person who believes that he has worked hard for everything he has and that he has earned everything he has, and that if he has earned it, it is his. Lucy Gray comes in and she is essentially Snow's antithesis. She's a traveller, part of a covey, and she was confined to District 12 after the capital took control of the districts again. And though Snow claims that District 12 never really accepted her, she in turn also does not claim that District 12 is her home. So she has no true home. And her name comes from fable. It doesn't have a long lineage and a dynasty. She is just Lucy Gray. But she's ethereal and she's captivating, and so much of her is a mystery that she could essentially become anyone that a person wanted. And when they first meet, Snow is immediately drawn to her, but initially not for romance. He's drawn to her because he believes that she could help him get a victory for himself. Snow fundamentally does not believe that Lucy Gray can win the games, but he believes that he can win the games. And so Snow starts working behind the scenes to get Lucy Gray an edge. He convinces her to sing at the interviews even though she doesn't really want to. He sneaks rat poison into the compact and gives it to her in the games, and he drops her handkerchief into the vat of snakes to ensure that she survives. And I do think that Snow starts to care for Lucy Gray at this point. He finds her interesting and captivating, and she surprises him. And Snow is very, very good at reading people and predicting the room, and so for someone to surprise him, it catches his attention. But I don't think at any point his caring for her was ever pure. And he's very open about this. He wants Lucy Gray to survive the games, partly because he's interested in her and he wants to get to know her more, and partly because he knows that her victory is more his victory. He would have put in the work and he would have been the one to have earned that victor title. And it's at this stage that Snow starts boldly proclaiming that Lucy Gray is naturally his. In Snow's eyes, Lucy Gray barely existed before she came to the capital. And this is further enhanced by the fact that the thing that Snow holds the most esteem to, a lineage, Lucy Gray doesn't have. So for him, he was essentially given a blank slate of a girl who he could mold and shape into exactly what he wanted. And so he created a victor, and that victor became his. But then Snow is caught out, losing a game he thought he was playing so well, and he is sent to District 12. And I think that this is actually the most crucial part of the story, because Snow is given the opportunity to see that District 12 and that the citizens of the districts are not the animals that he thinks they are. He can also see that Lucy Gray, despite him thinking that she didn't exist before she came to the capital, has a family and has a home, and is relatively accepted by District 12 because they love her singing and they enjoy her and they cheer her on when she comes to the stage. But he doesn't ever register this, because in his eyes, this is a person that he has created. This is his love. This is his girl. And for Lucy Gray's part, she says that trust is more important to her than love. So Snow coming to 12 and making an effort to fit in with everyone and seemingly accepting his life there is enough for her. And despite Snow being given every opportunity to change his beliefs, he still cannot let go of his lineage, and he still cannot let go of the dark days and the pride he has in being a capital citizen. And we know that the most essential thing for Snow is control. And when he starts to feel things lose control in District 12, he goes back to the one person he knows will have absolute control over everything, and that is the game maker of the Hunger Games. Because for Lucy Gray, trust was more important than love, but for Snow, control is more important than love. So I do think he loved her, but in the only way that he knew how, which was possession. He loved her in the way you would love a dog that is sweet and kind, but then it suddenly bites you one day. Snow would shoot that dog. And I don't think that we are ever sure of Lucy Gray's motives or her feelings towards Snow, and that is exactly how it should be. Because for her, trust was always more important, and the second that he lost her trust, it was over. And as much as we may never know if she actually loved him, Snow will never know if she actually loved him. We read the book from Snow's perspective, and the last thing that Lucy Gray does, the last thing that she's able to do to protect herself from him, the thing that she knows will drive him insane, is disappear.